Kindly raise your hand, introduce yourself, and tell me who you want to address the question to. I'm sorry, can you put on the lights? I can't see people.
My name is Sanjeev Goyal, and my question is from Mr. Chauhan. Uh, as far as listing is concerned, should we need to appoint a chartered accountant and a company secretary for our company?
Even for, if you don't want to list, still you need to appoint a chartered accountant and a company secretary. These are basically by law. All your annual accounts have to be, if you are beyond a particular size, they have to be certified by a chartered accountant. And if you are a company, you need to have a company secretary by law. So both would be required even if you don't want to list but want to run a company.
Sir, my question is like, right now we have a chartered accountant and a company secretary, but they work on the part-time basis. Okay, so should we need to appoint a permanent employee because the work would be increased?
It's not, basically there is a law about when you have to employ a company secretary full-time. Chartered accountants actually are generally third parties, they are called auditors. And you can have basically a BCom or somebody, even you can do your accounting. But the chartered accountant has to certify your balance sheet for filing it to the MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs website and so on and so forth if you're running a company. So chartered accountants usually are not there in small companies or even medium-sized companies. But the company secretaries are there if they go beyond a particular size.
Anyone else?
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Itisha, representing Diamond Building Care as a business head for my company. My question is addressed to all the panelists here. All the while we've been hearing you and you've been asking us to submit our business plan. You'll all agree that the idea is what matters in this industry. We will be sharing our innovative ideas with each one of you. At the same time, we are also aware that many of you people have migrated to various individual sectors by yourself as entrepreneurs. So how do we know that this idea that we're sharing, the innovative idea we're sharing with each one of you, or people like from your verticals, the security of my idea, how are we sure that these ideas will not, business plans will not be shared, or they would not be taken independently by you? Because finally it all matters, the funds, and you have the captive funds.
We get your question. Sorry, your name was?
Itisha here.
Itisha, I'm going to throw this question to Saji, and I'm going to try and answer some of it myself too later.
Sure.
So if you need funding, you need to share the idea. In terms of, see, from a venture capital point of view, it's not just an idea that kind of, idea can be kind of great, but how do you implement that idea? How do you kind of translate the idea into actual business? That's the risk there. It's not just an idea. Like you, similar, there would be a kind of 100 of ideas that are come up before us. But we are a investor. We look at companies' ideas in terms of converting those ideas into a business, and that conversion is done by the entrepreneur. See, ultimately, it's kind of to what extent do you want to share it?
Itisha, to answer your question, please, sir.
I think the question is in terms of confidentiality of the information. Would somebody whack that information and misuse that against the benefits of the company? I think what I just want to highlight, for example, if you look at a credit rating agency, we, at the time of taking a mandate from a client, we sign a confidentiality agreement and also non-disclosure agreement to make sure that, first of all, the company is committed to keep the information confidentially. That is one. And number two, every time a particular case is handled by the analyst, we also take a back-to-back confidentiality agreement with the analyst also. So by these two processes, we have put a process by which there is a certain discipline and also ensuring that the confidentiality is maintained. I think we handle around 10,000 companies in a year, and you can imagine that almost every company gives a business plan and information, and it is kept confidential.
Itisha, I just want to summarize the two comments and say that Absolutely, there's the worry which we experience all the time from people like yourself. But do your homework when you go to the investor. Most of the people have good protocol in this business. They don't steal ideas for personal benefit. They have protocol like Mr. Ravi Shankar mentioned, and like Saji mentioned that you need to go to capital. But the worst thing you can do is have an idea which doesn't get funded. An unfunded idea is a dead idea. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, but I'll have to close. We have run out of time. I would like to thank Dr. Chauhan, the keynote speaker, for his presence today, Mr. Ravi Shankar, Mr. Nitin Jain, and Mr. Saji Varghese for contributing to this panel and sharing their thoughts with the audience. Some and more panelists would be around during the course of the day, and if you have any questions or discussions, take them on one-to-one. Thank you once again, and appreciate your patience and cooperation.